You are meaning like the average. Sorry, you were not the sum. You are the average of who you are, and the energy that you put off is the dependent upon the 5 people that you hang out with the most. I know that people say this much more eloquently than I do. I mean, hello, look at me right now. Do you think I was going to be eloquent? If so, joke's on you. You are the sum of the 5 people that you hang out with the most, meaning their vibe, their mindset, how they look at things, how they talk about people, the beliefs that they have about their success, their money, all this kind of stuff. It all kind of just accumulates and affects you a lot more than we give it credit. Have you ever heard this from somebody? I heard it maybe 5 years ago. I first heard it, and it put things into so much perspective. So let me give you a little insight about it. What it means is that, let's say, between your family, your friends, your coworkers, there's a bunch of people, right, that you spend time with. Maybe it's a person who you work closely with. Maybe it's a partner. Maybe it's a parent or whomever. And the way that those people think about themselves, talk about each other, see the world, glass half full, glass half empty, and all that lovely stuff, right, affects how your mind works. And if you look around and you realize that the people that you spend the most time with see the glass as half empty, put each other down, judge other people, gossip, just kind of have this bad vibe, it's a tough topic, but like watch the news all the time and then complain about what they watch in the news all the time. These people who sadly have more of a fixed mindset. If that is the majority of the people that you spend your time with, you're going to have a real hard time keeping yourself being positive. Whereas if it's the opposite, if the people, thanks for the hashtag hello lovely, if the people that you do spend your time with are the opposite, if they look at opportunities, if they see the world as their oyster. And that's not saying necessarily that everything is coming up butterflies and sunshine and roses for them. It just means that they really work on seeing things differently. They see opportunities come out of things that may be a failure or may be hard for them. When you surround yourself more with those type of people, that's going to actually affect your brain. So when I first heard this, I was not surrounded by a lot of positive people. And sometimes you can't change your physical situation. Sometimes you can't change who you work with or who's in your house. You may be having like a lot of tumultuous things going on with those people. And of course, they're going to be having a tough, crabby mindset. So instead, what I started to do is I started to listen to more positive positive podcasts, positive hosts on podcasts, people who, just had a different outlook of life, an outlook that I might want to have, might believe things in a way that I wanted to, or that I already did. And I was searching for people who felt like that, who gave a vibe that I wanted to be around more. And I think as we become older, it's a little bit more difficult, right? Like when you're in school and there's hundreds of kids, whether it's elementary, high school, college, and you have this assortment. If someone gives you a bad vibe, ideally you can just be like, oh, I'm not going to sit next to that kid at lunch anymore. And you can go find other people, ideally, right? Some people go to small schools. Some people kind of like are stuck with the same people. But that's what I'm saying, is that ideally every 4 years or so, you kind of get this refresh button when you are a student, and you are oftentimes able to make those jumps where you can be with different people and feel a different vibe. But I have found as an adult, those jumps don't happen as frequently. Maybe you stay at the same job for a really long time, or maybe you're in a relationship, or you have family members who obviously you can't necessarily peace out. I'm going to go sit with someone else for family dinner. Like, this is what you got. And so what I started to do when I felt like, oh, goodness gracious, the 5 people who I spend the most time with may not necessarily be the best influence on my mindset, on me, is, as I said, I started to listen to more podcasts with people who had the feelings that I wanted to get. I started to actually listen less to the news because I just found that it was just all sad, tough things. Does anyone else want a happy news channel? Not that I need to ignore the plight, because let's be real, while. There are things that we need to pay attention to and things that we need to do to help our world and help people in our community. But I'm like, can we just have 75 good news so we can feel optimistic and celebrate the things that deserve to be celebrated and the people that deserve to be celebrated and the breakthroughs that deserve to be celebrated. And then the 25%, then we're going to have the energy and the bandwidth to take care of that stuff. Anyway, that's like my super duper dream, is that one day we could create a station like that. But I had to cut back because I was realizing that it wasn't doing me good. So I started to search for these other outlets. And I realized that just because we're looking for these 5 people, they don't have to be physically in person. They can just be people that you spend time with. So I started to spend time, meaning listen to podcasters that brought me joy. And I had decided, years ago that I wanted to be one of those type of podcasters. I wanted to be a person that when people were feeling, the weight of the world, or, just having a rough day with work or their family, or, maybe they had a fight with somebody, or they just couldn't find that positive influence or just friend to kind of listen to. Not that you even need, not for me to be like a therapist, or not for me to be like a what are those people that just like pump you up and I'm not looking to be one of that. I'm just looking to be a more positive source and a more positive person out there. I'll come up with the word in a moment. Motivational speaker. That's what I was trying to say. I am not looking to be a motivational speaker, right? But I was telling myself, maybe I can be one of those 5 people, because podcasters have been that for me. And it can even come down to like what social media accounts you follow. If someone's stories on their Instagram or Facebook don't make you very happy and they make you feel like poop, then maybe that person shouldn't be on your feed that much. Maybe someone's health journey, or other things that are great for them, but it just makes you feel bad. Maybe you need to pause looking at that person. Not that you can't celebrate that step for them, but maybe it's just not lifting you up. Maybe there are people who complain a lot online, or, things like that. So you can like clear out even social media, because the people that you spend time with, as I said, they don't have to be physically in person. If you're on your phone a lot, which if you're watching this, at least you're on your phone right now, you want to make sure that the people that you're following in the content that you take in helps lift that level, that some of those 5 people that you spend the most time with. So I don't know, I just kind of wanted to come on in and say that for me, I've got a lot of dear, amazing friends who I just can't see that often, right? Like I might be able to see them once a month. Gosh, some of them live so far away that it's like once a year. And yes, we can chat on the phone, and yes, we can do those kind of things, but that may not necessarily mean that I'm talking to them enough for them to be the 5 most people that I talk to all the time. So I just wanted to really put that out there. If you sit down, you say, okay, who have I got? And could it be negatively affecting me? It really can. My husband was in a rough work situation, and I told him this. I said, listen, you're coming home from work every single day and you're complaining about so-and-so who all she was doing was complaining about this, that, and the other thing. And then these people were gossiping, and they weren't even necessarily being bad about Blake. They weren't complaining about Blake. They weren't being mean to him, but it was just negative energy. Debbie Downers, or glass half empty, or maybe they had their own drama going on. And mind you, I'm not to say that people can't be human. We all can be human. We all need to be human. We're all supposed to be human, but there is something to be said about mindset, and seeing that glass half full, half empty, for as often as you can. And then there's other people who just see it half empty like all the time. And that was the environment that sadly he was in for quite some time, was just a glass half empty, crabby people talking about other crabby people, lots of drama. And he would come home from work, and I sigh because I'm so glad he doesn't do that anymore. He would come home from work miserable. And, here I was with our little kids, and we'd be so excited to see him And I would say, oh my gosh, like you need to go into our bedroom and reset and shake off some of this energy that you've got, because it like stuck to him. And it just, when I heard that you're the sum of the 5 people you hang out with the most, it made me think about me. But then I was able to see it in my husband and realize that he didn't, yes, he lived with me, but I was just one person. I was just one of those 5 people. So it has been a remarkable change for him since he's had a new job, a new career, and the people that he's with. And he's told me so often, he's like, it's just so different the way people talk, the way people that even like handle problems, how they talk about problems, because problems are everywhere, right? No matter which job you're in, no matter which relationship you're in, you're gonna have problems. You're gonna have people who also have problems who need to talk about those problems with you. But it's how they talk about those problems. It's how they handle those things. So I'm here to challenge you to take a look around, all my Hamilton friends, look around and say, who do I got? Who do I have for my 5 people? Is at least 3 of them upbeat, positive mindset, not that they need to be happy-go-lucky, sunshine and rainbows, but do they have a more positive mindset? And if not, I'm going to challenge you. Get some new people. Not that you gotta leave your friends, but like find someone on YouTube who makes you laugh, who you can watch their video each day. Find a podcast that you can listen to when you make your bed or when you drive to work that makes you smile or see things in a different way. It really, really, really will make a giant difference. Here we go. The magic of heatless curls. Let's do it again. It makes such a big difference. And when I'm feeling down personally and I'm feeling anxious or I'm feeling stuck, and I look around and I see, like, what have I been listening to? Have I been taking in too much of one type of person? Or have I been taking in too much of one type of, have I been listening to too much news and not enough, like, happy, upbeat things? Have I been spending time with people who are in difficult times of life and they are totally 100% allowed to feel the things that they feel and go through the things that they feel, but am I balancing that out, right? Or am I spending time with people who are not the type of people that I need to be around? And we all go through our own phases of our life, but like, you're not going to be necessarily able, like I would never leave Blake, but I can't leave Blake, for example. So if Blake goes through a difficult time in life, which he did, thank you 2021. In 2021, Blake went through a very difficult time of life, and obviously he was one of the top 5 people that I spent the most time with. To balance that out, I made sure that when I had the time, I was meditating. I really stopped listening to most of the news at that point. And I filled myself with books. I spent a lot of time with the people from Team Magic, my makeup business, because those people were all about uplifting, empowering, and validating each other. And I just said, okay, I need to go like where the sunshine is. My team, they even know, I was saying like, be a lighthouse. Be a lighthouse for others in times of darkness. And so I wanted to be that. And I was also looking for that. So let's see, I'm a positive person. I always try and I find something positive every day, even if it's just small, like the sun shining or getting to enjoy my favorite food. I love that, love that, love that, love the idea of the Happy News Channel. Exactly. You and Bradley were those podcasters for me. When I listen to you guys, I feel like I'm in a room chatting with y'all. Sometimes I answer back because I forget that I'm really not there. Exactly. And that's that was my hope, right? That was my hope, is that I can be a positive source for people like me who are looking for a little something, whether for laughter or for just feeling less alone, or like I said, to kind of like average out a little bit more of that positivity, so that way one of your 5 people can be this quirky freckled girl from Rhode Island who likes to help make you smile. So and not everything I talk about is always great, but I challenge myself to see opportunities and to try to see the glass half full as often as I can. I have feelings though, right? Like 2 days ago, I was a big old mess of crying. We had some stuff go down, and I made a big mess. I made a big mistake, and I messed up things, and I hurt a lot of feelings, and because my brain was elsewhere, and I made a boo-boo. And through that though, like, I was still able to take a step back and say positive things to myself, because I think of all the influence that these sources and these people and these podcasts and these people that I spend time with, whether it's online or in person, have been able to do for me. So I don't know, it's just a fun little thing for you to take a look around and see what influences you. And if you're not feeling the high vibe, if you're not feeling in a good mood most of the time, and you look around and you don't have those sources there for you, go out there. The internet is one of the biggest blessings, is that you can find whatever you're looking for, whether it's good or bad. And if you put out there, some good vibes for yourself, looking for some people who are going to do that for you, whether it's talking about a favorite fandom, or people who love kitties as much as you do, or if it's fellow, parents who've got some good humor about how hard it is when you're in the trenches, or a podcast about self-love, or whatever it may be, it's going to make a big difference. It's going to make a real big difference. So I hope that if you're looking for one of those 5 people, that I can be one of those 5 people for you. I generally try to come on and have an optimistic, positive attitude and bring that to you, and I hope that it raises your vibe. I'm going to go pick up my kids. Those are the people that I have the most influence over, so it is super duper important for me to show up in my best self, and I hope that you enjoy your day. Take care, and thanks for tuning in. Bye.